Evos can win this 2-1, they will be brought up into 4th place on the standings. Will they be able to do it? Let's welcome you into the land of dawn for game number 3 between the White Tigers and the Sons of Gods. An assassin v assassin game on our hands.
Fanny versus Ling. When was the last time we saw Fanny versus Ling? The last time I can remember was Kabuki versus Albert. I think season 9 it was. Wow. When Kabuki played the Fanny and Albert was on the Ling. Now it's Annabelle. Still with his weakness finder strat and Drian. Yeah, no lethal ignition this time.
Not this time for sure. Annabelle, though, with the weakness finder, will be able to be a bit more of a danger, especially for Keys. I feel that's his main target. Hawken, though, with the Impure Rage, he's going for a bit more damage. In these short trades, he's not going for the Quantum Charge and extra bit of sustain that we are almost accustomed to, because he doesn't really need that extra bit of movement speed either. Knowing that his team wants to stay in there, use the utility, the Heavy Spin and Dominion Fury to really throw their weight around and force Dewa to play around them instead of trying to, position and kite back with the Quantum Charge. Oh, he has tenacity, by the way, so he is looking to try and make plays going in aggressively forward for sure. Rans, though, with the firmness and the tenacity, he just wants to make sure that he can survive here. He knows there's a lot of threat, a lot of pick-off attempts, and a lot of burst damage, more importantly. He might even itemize defensively in the boot choice as well. That we'll have to wait and see.
Oh, and that's the reason. That's the reason right there. Gary can just come swinging by anytime. And Brands needs to be ready for it. But what? Because I guess he has a Fanny, he knows he's going to have a better laning phase here against Brands. He went for Bargain Hunter, so he's looking to snowball ASAP.
He knows that there's a lot more playmaking tools on his team, especially with the Fredrin and the Cho. A lot more ways in the early game for them to dictate the aggression and go into the gold lane and make sure that Brands does get, that Watt does have the winning lane. But of course, that's unless later on, especially after level 4, if Evos can just bring all those ultimates to bear on that gold lane.
And now in an assassin v assassin situation, both at the same level, by the way. I'm wondering how this turtle dance is gonna go. It looks like they're opening up the map, posturing for it, but they're not committing onto it just yet. Both want to secure their buffs first. But it looks like Fanny might be on the way to disrupt Annabelle here.
Yep. Oh, the flicker and the way the dragon, but it's going to be a bit too far away. Gary gets knocked up in his fury 2 times. And a big bonk from Dreams. The triple buff stolen away though by Kaze with the Astral Meteor. Now a chase down onto Drian in the bottom lane, but Watts is there to save him. Grants him safe passage.
We're gonna see how this plays out, man, with the turtle coming up already. Both teams just going all in on it.
Heavy spin. Dixon was able to bait out attempts of Blaze right now as Kaze goes in as well. Gary, Retri, Annabelle wins it out! Even despite Dixon, a Brazer's Wrath though to take him out.
Still good play for the side of Evos, taking the first neutral objective. All things considered, despite all the burst damage and danger that Dewa has, Evos getting the early advantage there. They seem to have a lot of the same ideas from the first 2 games, but they're trying to get it using different solutions. Rans, though,
it's Purify and the arrival, he cancels it. It was just to prevent the dive.
Right, as I was mentioning, I mean, they want that global presence, so they went for the arrival. A Fluffy has to pull yourself together, by the way, so it lowers that battle spell cooldown by a lot more as well. Dixon, though, by the way, on the Fredrin, he goes for the agility and tenacity, so he's trying to already match the movement, probably trying to make sure that in the off chance he's forced to go and clear the far side, he can rotate a lot faster. So not bad of a emblem selection.
The audience prediction, however, favors Evos by 65% by the Samsung Galaxy S24 series. And again, Drian just being a nuisance, trying to get some, trying to bait, honestly. He opens up his ultimate here. What's Drian's end goal, seeing as he didn't build damage?
I think the idea for Drian is to make sure that he is annoying, one for sure, that he doesn't get kicked off, doesn't give too much gold away, and if Evos are just too confused, trying to make sure that he doesn't become too annoying, he doesn't threaten to steal one of the buffs as well, that means that that's more time and attention taken away from being sent towards the gold lane. That can be a big threat towards Watt, who's on the Natan, but he's pushing a lot faster than Brands here. He's the one actually pushing the lane aggressively again and again, unless a gank is coming.
And by the way, firmness, tenacity, not enough. Also, a steel leg plate rush from Brands. That's why the Fanny hasn't been able to do anything against the Claude.
That's the kind of itemization you have to have against big burst damage potential, especially with as mobile as the Fanny. For now though, Kies' damage in the early game starting to really add up. But once again, from the side of for Evos, they're the ones on the turtle. They haven't really started it just yet.
It's peculiar, right? The damage output. I mean, he's on an NOD first item, if I'm not mistaken, for Kies. He just secured it a few seconds ago, but it's still doing that much. Dreams, as well as Drian, both of these roamers are starting the next neutral objective. Does the Fanny want to go for a contest? I guess he wants to put pressure in the top lane first, perhaps forcing Fluffy to the top lane.
Splash of damage on the Dixon. Dixon decides to go in. Gonna praise his Wrath and an Astral Sphere as well. Starlium Scythe built up by Watt, who's been shoving these lanes in. That Bargain Hunter doing work.
That was a 1v1, by the way, between Gary as well as Annabelle. Annabelle gets chunked really low. He actually loses that 1v1.
Now with that advantage though, Evos trying to push through. The fact that they have both, the fact that they have two big ultimates. Usually it's either the Heavy Spin or the Minion Fury. The fact that Evos have two and Dewa have none actually means that Evos are just always going to be the ones to try and want to be in this turtle pit.
No, Drian 1v4. Oh wait, the dragon stolen away by Clawhood. Drian forced back with Flicker. Still has away the dragon. Gary rotating over again, and that's going to be Annabelle still who secures it. Gary with the cutthroat, but now the heavy spin pins him down just a bit. No purple buff for Gary. Dixon finds the kill on the Dreams, but finds himself amidst four of the Tigers who claw him down.
That's a 2-4-1 trade in favor of Evos, as they were also able to pick up the neutral objective. Terrified Kies gets chunked really low, and Annabelle looks to take away this purple buff.
And he does. Gary has no say on the turtle, not even in his own purple.
Even on an individual level, Evos are just really pushing up the pace right here. The fact that Clockwind just immediately went for the dive right there. He knows that Dewa are still scrambling to come back in the Land of Dawn, and he knows that Annabelle was nearby. But usually you see him a bit more hesitant, that he just wants to make the plays happen right there. He wants to take advantage of that momentum. Here's a player head-to-head by our new application GoPay. And when it comes to Gary and Annabelle, I feel like Annabelle just has a lot more to say right now, winning on all the stats, and even on the hero pool, he is the one with the more confusing picks in the Land of Dawn. Gary is a bit more straightforward, but now on the Fanny, we'll see if he can still surprise us with his prowess on these assassins.
I mean, so far he hasn't been having a good time. Arrival goes up to the top lane, and they get a turret for it. No kills just yet, but yeah, I mean, who's utilized the alpha in the jungle this season, aside from Annabelle? I don't think there is.
It's just him. And looking at the items though, hey, that's a Has Claws into a Berserker's Fury for Annabelle. So it's a lot more sustainable. I feel like it's a bit less burst heavy, but the crit damage was buffed in the last change. So, the crits are definitely gonna hit with that Berserker's Fury, but look at this.
A target down onto Fluffy. Probably still not the best target to go for. Dreams gets melted. What? That's why his name is what? You sometimes exclaim that when he randomly does that much damage. Has he hit his item power spike? What? No, he rushed Wind of Nature with the Starlium and the Feather of Heaven, but he still just melted Dreams.
It is still 3 items, but with that momentum, with the fact that Dewa utilized everything to take out Dreams in that purple side area on the top side. Oh, 1v1 on the bottom side. Dangerous stuff for Annabelle. He needs to be a bit more careful right there, but he does have the mobility advantage. But technically, both junglers have that mobility advantage. So expect a lot of 1v1s right here.
It's fun. It's fun. And the Cutthroat still does damage, especially before that particular 1v1. Gary was able to secure the Malefic Roar.
No, Annabelle with the Malefic Roar as well. Same build he went for yesterday with the Weakness Finder. Now it's Fluffy actually. All the way in the back, baited out the entropy already, but now Drian looks for engage. A good Astral Sphere to get rid of the tank Dreams now to knock up, and that's going to be an insane engagement from 3. They're all going to go in for the damage. Plays it wet from Braz to try to see survival. Oh my god, what? Almost found Brand's case as well. Very close to hitting that snipe, but Evos trade 3 members for a kill and a lord.
But it looks like Dewa United should be able to get this mid-tier turret under the nose of Evos. But the Lord is still marching up in the top side. Meanwhile, I mean, Annabelle's doing work, being able to push these side lanes constantly, putting pressure on these side lanes constantly. And he's actually #1 on the player's gold by Ubea's gold.
Pushing out the lanes and also just going into the jungle whenever possible. Evos are trying to still find some value from this lore, trying to escort it for a bit longer. Dewa, actually, instead of looking for that chance to really clear the lore out before Evos can get to it, they let it come through, and now Evos are using it for a bit of a siege. Of course, Dewa has a lot more long range available, especially from keys, already with the blood moves. They're going to be trying to clear out as much as possible, but this is still great value. All turrets except for the base turrets secured by Evos, despite the fact that multiple members were taken out in that team fight.
Clean gaming by Evos Glory. And for Dewa, I think it was just, they had to just use that time to fall back, kinda. With the Lord marching down, they couldn't go for anything too greedy, not even the full stack on the Lord. But now Watt has a Divine Glaive, so on top of the Wind of Nature, now he should be able to deal. Oh, Gary with those cables. Fluffy, not able to find him just yet. And Gary just backs off again. Watt is the real threat here, right? Fanny is more of a distraction to Evos.
Looking at the real-time victory rate, it is in favor of Evos right now. The fact that they have been able to munch on all those turrets and the outer layers, not yet touching the inhibitors just yet, but it does give them an advantage. The fact that they always have to be wary of the fact that Evos might go in for, oh, wait a minute.
Purple buff controlled by Evos Glory. Watt's already popped into Entropy though, and look at those HP bars for Evos. Dream still having to heal Annabelle, out retreating Gary again.
Oh no.
And taking away the purple buff.
It also finishes the BOD, so even more burst available on the side of Evos Glory. Brands, by the way, no Wind of Nature. I wonder if he's going to go for a full damage build, relying only on his teammates to provide the peel with the heavy spin and the Minion Fury, because Watt already has the Wind of Nature, so there's a difference here when it comes to the 1v1. Fluffy though.
Fluffy can be targeted down. Oh my, what? Melting him down now. Defiant Blade to the back. Watt still popping the Entropy to escape from the Temple of the Blazers. Brad's going to be taunted down. Appraiser's Wrath, but Brad still takes it on out of all! With a double kill, now a triple maybe, but what? He's able to shut him down. Clawkun with a stolen way of the dragon, and now Gary onto Claw. No cutthroat to assassinate Clawkun, but Evos Glory have found 3 for the price of 1.
What a great fight there from both the teams, but Annabelle is coming back in, knowing he has a big power spike, trying to make the difference, but without a jungler now, Evos.
Gary?
Another chance with the heavy spin used up. Gary, can he do it? He's missed out on the red trees many times before. This might be it, and he does not! Dreams executes him, and Clawkun secures it. Gary fails the red tree steal attempt.
That is so unfortunate. Even without Annabelle, he gets taken off the board before he was able to press that retribution, and that Lord still falls to the hands of Evos. Absolutely no turtle nor Lord pickups for Dewa United up until this 14th minute of the game.
Look at that gold gap. Usually we see this for an assassin versus a tank. This is an assassin versus an assassin. 3,600 lead for Annabelle.
That's the arrival cheese attempted by Fluffy right there, but with all the damage, with the fact that it's a 5k gold difference, I think Dewa can still defend for sure. Evos will have to wait a bit longer before they can go for a brute force play if they want to immediately just try and knock out the bases. But look at Fluffy.
Zoning away, but what happened to Fluffy? Disappeared. Minis Fury defensively. Gary looking for the assassination. The purple buff frozen. And will be cleared out now. Evos Glory crack open the base of Dewa, but lose Fluffy.
all things considered, that's still pretty
Yeah.
good. Mid base turret. If they got a side base turret, that would have been better. But any base turret, I think Evos will be very happy to take. What now with the Holy Crystal though? He has still been farming, and again, the gold disparity ain't too crazy. So in a proper all-out fight, Fluffy as well as Dreams will still need to be very careful. If Watt doesn't get card controlled and he has a Purify, he will be able to shred anyone, including the tankier members of Evos here. I think they have to really play it around mobility, right? Like using Annabelle right here, instead of really banking on executing Dewa in a proper fight.
This is literally a game that could swing both ways. It's a pendulum of a game. I mean, even if, let's say, you wanted to lock down Watt with who? Fluffy. Watt still has Purify. I don't think Dreams will be able to find Watt in the backline. Whose job is it to do that?
I think it has to be Annabelle. I think that's the only thing that makes sense. But again, Watt has Wind of Nature. Keels has a Winter Truncheon, by the way. So the backlines have their own ways to try and deal with this Ling. I feel like this only hinges on Drian if he can really find a better target, because he's been using the Way of the Dragon towards the tankier frontliners. I feel like he should start looking for more aggressive targets, you know, like the squishier targets they can just immediately punish instead of these utility tanks.
Look at the control over the purple buff though. They want to try to steal it away once again from Gary, but this time Dewa have done a good job. But Gary, red trade! A big resource. We'll see if Evos noticed that. I don't know. I don't think they did.
We'll see if they push forward for it though. Keys has the Lightning Truncheon, by the way. He went with a lot of negative Durance, the Blood Wings, and the Winter Truncheon, so a lot of survivability tools built by him. Finally now he has the Lightning Truncheon, so his damage now will finally be a lot more felt by Evos, especially if they do try and go for something like a Lord Dance. It doesn't seem like that's the strong suit for Dewa United at all, but at this point, it's something they need to be able to do, so we'll have to see if that really makes a difference, as the wave management at least really favors Evos right now. All three waves pushed up, and they're just waiting to try and find an opportunity where they can just punish one more member from the side of Dewa once again.
Earlier, if you noticed, both the Ling and the Valentina maneuver to the top side, and remember, Klokken has the Way of Dragon. I think they were looking for a pick on to Gary before they even commit onto this neutral objective. Gary is up, and Gary has a retribution. Fluffy.
Heavy spin, bringing Dixon back all the way as Brands deals with him. Tries to melt him down. That's a knockup from Dreams. No more damage to take that immortality down. Fluffy has to recall, has no heavy spin. Annabelle gets shot down by the Astral Sphere and rotates back towards his own jungle, where Evos are still holding on to this Lord. But then eventually try to reset it. Drian, though, will reset it towards his side.
On the right side for Evos, they're getting chunked down, poked down again and again, but they do have a Minotaur, right? The healing difference from both teams is very apparent right here. So if they go for a short trade that results in everyone getting low, that actually favors Evos. They are the ones who require a full-on all-in, where the entropy and all these big ultimates can be used at the same time for maximum value.
They're going for the bait again. They're going for the bait. Gary doesn't bite.
Yeah, that's setup, man. The jungle along with the mid lane, anyone who walks up there will get immediately deleted. And even if they survive with usage of items, it doesn't mean that they're safe. They can still get chased down because the Ling is a lot more maneuverable and you're not really ultimate reliant in your burst potential, especially with that Finch Poise. So Evos are trying to use it as best as possible. And now it seems like they're going to be waiting again.
This Lord Dance.
Oh.
It's the silence, the build up, the tension right now. It looks like they cannot go for that pick. I think Dewa United spotted out, opening up that side of the jungle. Drian, though, is opening up the map, giving vision, giving information for his team. And again, it's a waiting game. It's a calm before the storm.
It's the calm before the storm indeed. A big storm is brewing for sure here. Once they collapse, it'll probably be one and done. Maybe that one team fight to end it all. Because it seems like once they engage, for the most part, their composition seems like an all-in, right? Even these assassins. Maybe just the assassins could escape, but everyone else will be kind of forced into this team fight.
And the longer the game goes, more items will be built up for sure. I mean, for both teams, the mid laners aren't exactly at full build just yet.
There you go. Another chance to take away the purple buff, but they will not do it. They will not spend their resources on that. If any of them use retry, then that will be the green light for the other team to go for the Lord.
I wonder if this might or has the possibility to spiral down into a split push to an end type situation. Both assassins on both teams have physical damage and they have good pushing power. If they play this right, I mean, with the arrival in hand as well for Evos, they can let Annabelle go for a daring push towards the base immediately. It is an option that they have to consider, and I think that Dewa has in mind at least as well. That's where the mind games here start coming through. Both teams don't really know what strategy, what solution have both teams really settled on.
Oh, two people are already marching to the top side, Fluffy and Annabelle. Are they looking for a gank? They don't find it though.
That could have been scary.
Yep. Gary spots it. Gary goes back. But it looks like Annabelle still wants to commit onto the push. They should know that the Akai is there. And I think they're utilizing the range from Keys to clear out those waves.
No one wants to make a mistake at this point. They're both playing passively. The gold lead, slowly but surely, though, will lose its relevance here as they creep up to the 60,000 gold mark, where the items will probably not be relevant. Brands trying to go for some poke here on that Claude. Drian finally trying to pull the trigger on somebody. Good maneuvers, though, from the rest of Evos to back away.
I think it's great plays from Evos here, knowing when there's less members around for Brands to just walk up aggressively, knowing he wants to do some damage. Oh, he's getting chunked on low though.
Lord, rush it. Good heavy spin, too, to deny any attempt if it came around. Evos glory with Brands holding it down. Well played.
It came out of nowhere. I thought it was going to be a bit longer and we're going to see a big sequence of events, but no. Evos just pull apart Dewa so well, forcing them all across the map with the superior mobility, with the superior 1v1 dueling prowess in the hands of Annabelle as well. Now with the Lord, can they go for an end?
The wave isn't good though. Oh! Dre's finding it. Oh, Purify instantly now. Gary rotating back to the team. Drian very low. Watts still dealing free damage on the back. So that's what in nature. Pops it just in time. The top of the blaze will be used up by Annabelle. He buys the immortality while he was in the top of the blaze. Buffy very, very low. Gary looking for the chase down, but will just go for the minions instead. Evos Glory have cracked another base turret open, but that is it. That is all they can find. And Dixon, technically.
Yeah, they couldn't look for anything more. They couldn't look for the end of this particular game. Like you mentioned, the waves weren't crashing at the right time, but there are still 3 more waves on the way. He's trying to clear, but that's another inhibitor turret fallen, given to the hands of Evos.
Evos just sticking around right here, trying to see and wait if they can try and find something. These atmospheres are getting very, very close, man. It's a game of quantity at this point, but look at Annabelle. Even if he gets chunked down, he has so much lifesteal here, so much sustainability, and he's trying to bait out something from Drian.
He baits out the way, no, not the way of the dragon, just a Jikundo. Deals a lot of damage, pokes him back down. Purple buff for Dewa, spawns in, but Gary is forced to recall. Oh, now Fanny might not have that purple buff. Annabelle takes it away.
Again, 2 times in a row already. That entire fight, Gary didn't have his purple buff. Keys is actually transitioning to a damage build, taking in the Holy Crystal on top of all the other
what did he sell?
Choices that he went for. Did he go for Enchanted Talisman earlier on?
He sold his Lightning Truncheon.
Lightning.
For a Holy Crystal. Knowing that he doesn't really want to go for that AoE anyway, it's more of a power spike item, that Holy Crystal will just allow more damage, not only for the Astral Sphere, but also for the Astral Meteor. And what? He purchased a Wind of Nature, so he switched it out in the previous fight, and now he has it again.
Blood Wings now.
This is how late the game is going.
Sold as Athena for Blood Wings.
Man, ladies and gentlemen, get comfortable, because like both teams are going to take their time with this one.
Some popcorn. Sit back, relax, and watch this show continue.
The stakes are definitely high for both of these teams. Again, to remind you, ladies and gentlemen, Dewa United are currently at 9th in the standings. If they win this, they will be brought to 8th, creeping a little bit closer to that 6th spot that they dearly want. Evos currently at 6th. If they win this, they do jump up to 4th position. And that's definitely the dreams of all the Evos fans right now, who were unsure at the start of the season whether or not they'd even make it to the playoffs.
0-4 start to the season, remember. This should be a free Lord. Gary is spotted up top, and Claude's already chunking the Lord down. Gary's still looking for the purple buff right now. I think for Evos, they're more concerned for this purple buff instead of maybe just going for the Lord. And yeah, there you go. The Lord is low enough for them to execute, and that's the rotation by Annabelle. If you want to trade, they will trade it with the Lord for free. Dewa, purple for Lord.
All right. Great play for Evos, man. If you don't want the jungler around to make it a 50-50, you take him away somewhere else, distract him. That purple buff is necessary for Gary, but it's also a great asset that Evos can use to pull him away. Now with a stronger Lord, can they go for it? 5v5.
It's all about how they manage this. Watt pops into entropy now. The heavy spin pins Watt down all the way. The fine blade also to the back line as Rihanna's going to be able to get picked off by the Panda. Immortality taken out. Watt still in the midst of it. Oh, Dreams gets the last shot out to Watt. Gary with the cables trying to save the game. The minion waves not crashing down just yet, but it will in the end. The ultimate victory for Evos. The glory in the name, now the glory in the game. 4th place secured, and another step closer to playoffs.
Power, strength, and a courage, versatility, patience. All these terms, all these words you can throw at this particular team. Already standing at a 0-1, coming back in game number 2, and eventually going for a reverse sweep against Dewa United. This is definitely not the best place for Dewa at all.